Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mindful Podcast. If I sound a little raspy, that's because it is 6:46 on Christmas Eve morning. I literally just got out of bed and, I don't know, I felt like I really needed to record. I'm just gonna be real and honest with you guys. Instead of actually, you know, reading my Bible and taking time for the Lord this morning, I got on social media and I I don't know. There's a family that I have been watching for like the past 4 years, I want to say, and there's like something that they're going through that I just didn't even I never would have guessed that that would have happened. So it just kind of I need to get off social media. I don't want to start my Christmas Eve that way, and I need to record anyways. So here we are. It's 6:47 right now, and I am recording a podcast episode. 6:47 in the morning, by the way. I don't know if I already said that, but I really want to share some things that has really stuck with me from the beginning of just over the course of 2022. I don't know if you guys are going to see this before 2023, but I just really feel like I need to share these points because this is something that I constantly come back to every single day. One of them, you guys will know whenever we get there, but one of them is something that I've seen before, but until this year I didn't fully understand it, and you can best believe that I will never take anything less than that whole aspect. So we'll get there when we get there. And I do want to say, if you are watching on YouTube or listening on YouTube, I am sorry that there is no video format. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, almost 7 o'clock in the morning. I really do not feel like videotaping right now. So we have just some lights in my room and my computer, my microphone, and my phone out so that I can look at the notes. But I will still be uploading on YouTube, but it's not going to be video format. It's just going to be a picture with the audio. So here is to the episode. There's probably going to be a 2-part. So this is part 1, and part 2 will probably be out a few days after part 1, but these are 8 lessons. For part 1, I'm only going to do 4. Part 2, I'm going to do 4 more, but 8 lessons that I learned in 2022. So number 1 is, it would not be an option if it wasn't a thought or a dream. Listen, God has a plan for each and every single person that is walking this earth, and everybody is here for a reason. We were all made in the image of Him, and we are all beautifully created by God, and so we all have a purpose. But I think so many people are in this stage of their life where they're oh, I'm confused, I don't know what I'm meant to be doing, I don't know what I want to do. But then as they sit there and they think what would they want to do, these ideas pop up, and they seem so scary, so then nobody wants to take action on it. And I'm here to tell you, if you haven't heard this before, if it is a thought or a dream in your mind, that it is possible. I don't know how you're going to get there. I don't know what your dream is. I don't know what exactly you are wanting, but it is so possible, and I want you to know that, because at the end of the day, I promise you that things are going to work out the way that they're meant to, and the only thing stopping you from fulfilling your purpose or fulfilling the dreams that you have is yourself. So you're already thinking about it. It's an option. There's ways to make it happen, whether that's going back to school or getting a different job or surrounding yourself with different people. Whatever those action steps are, write down your dream, because whatever you're dreaming, whatever action steps that you have, whatever it is, God has something bigger that you can't even imagine right now. So whatever your dreams are, write them down, and then write down the action steps and go after it. Because like I said, it would not be an option if it wasn't in your mind. It is an option. okay? So go after it and like listen to God if he's telling you what your purpose is. Quit letting fear hold you back. That was number 1. So number 2 is this one. It was kind of eye-opening for me, and like I wish I would have realized this sooner. You know, we all have our own timelines for things, and God has reasons why we go through things and like what we need to learn and everything like that. But like I wish I would have known this sooner, because a lot of things that have happened over the past couple of years of my life wouldn't have happened. But here we are. We are better than ever, loving life, and that's all that matters. So number 2 is the devil wouldn't be attacking if you weren't a valuable piece to God's plan. I think so many Christians or people who are struggling with their faith are, oh, why am I going through such a hard time? Like, just because we have God in our life, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Like, I was this person once who thought that God was going to protect me from any sadness or angriness or depression or mental health in general. Like, just because we have God as the center of our life does not mean that we're not going to come to hardships. Like, we're gonna have hard times in our life. We're gonna have to have lessons to be learned so that we can be wise and guide our future kids, our future families into the right direction. And I think we need to come to the realization that it's not always God working in our lives. Like, sometimes we will get out of a relationship, and then, like, this is just an example. Sometimes we'll get out of a relationship and then we'll hate being so lonely that we'll think, oh, this amazing person was brought to me by the Lord, and there's going to be some things where you, like, some red flags that you see, but you're going to keep going anyways with the relationship, with this new relationship. And like, the Lord is trying to tell you, like, hey, like, this isn't the one. You need to stop what you're doing, but you keep going anyways. That's the devil, and the devil is trying to take you away from God's plan. And I think so many people, or at least me, over the past few years, like, I have seen so many wrong things, but still, like, I didn't step away from them. I continued to go forward because I felt like before I would never be sad if God loved me, and that's not true. That is not true. And I am so grateful for the hard times, because I can tell you the amount of, like, stuff that I have come to realize, and the amount of things that I have become, I guess, wise about by the age of 20. Like, I am so grateful for that, because I know that the farther I go along in my life, I'm going to be surrounded by the right things. I'm going to be surrounded by the right people. Like, my mindset is going to be the right way. I have learned so much from the hardships that I don't want it any other way anymore. And I'm not saying I wish anything that I've been through on anybody, because it is heartbreaking, and I definitely don't wish that. But at the end of the day, like, the devil knows God's word so good that he will come in disguising himself as a good thing, and eventually you will realize that it's not good, and that it's something that needs to be taken out of your life. So if he wasn't attacking you, then you wouldn't be such a valuable part in God's plan. And I think I need to say that. And I also need to say, like, the devil is always attacking everybody because he's still trying to win a battle that God has already won. And he's trying to get people on his side in the evil and the hate of the world. And I just want to say, like, please pay attention to what you are taking in every single day. Please pay attention to who you are hanging out with, where you're giving your energy to, what you're doing with your time. Like, the devil knows what he's doing, just like God knows what he's doing. And you, as a human being, have to be able to see which one is God and see which one is the devil. So as much as the devil knows God's word, you need to be able to know God's word, and you need to be able to see the red flags flying up everywhere. If somebody comes into your life or a situation comes into your life, like, those red flags are there for a reason, and it's a warning sign from God telling you, like, get away from this. Okay, so that is number 2. Number 3 is kind of goes along with number 2, is God is near even in the difficult times. 2022 did not end how I thought 2022 was going to end. At the beginning of the year, I was babysitting with a wonderful family. I absolutely love them and miss them so much. But I was babysitting their little girl, and she's literally the cutest thing ever. That's not the point. And I thought life was good. I truly thought life was good. I continued going, and a lot of things came up, like my energy, my overall energy was draining so bad. It was so hard to get out of bed, and the second that I hit my pillow at the end of the night, I was out. And like, I never really wanted to go do anything with friends, and until end of July, beginning of August, I realized so much from one thing. A relationship that I was in for 4 years ended, and it's for the better. Like, I cried for probably like 2 weeks and got over it. Like, I mean, there's still some things that I have to heal from the relationship. There's still some things that I have to get used to, but I'm so happy that I'm not in that relationship anymore. And I think it took all of the lessons I learned over the past 4 years for that one moment where I felt like everything was just gone and broken, and like, I did not feel whole again. And so I had one option left, and that was to turn back to the Lord. And as soon as I realized that, I felt whole again. And it's so, like, I've talked about this in multiple podcast episodes, and I've posted about it on my social media, but it's so hard to even talk about because I have an overwhelming peace. It's so good, but I have an overwhelming peace that, like, I can't even explain it. I can't explain the feeling. Like, I get so excited to wake up in the mornings. I get so excited to go about my day. Sorry, my alarm. I get so excited to do everything all the time. And before, like, I would constantly be in my room because I was so exhausted from everything going on in my life. Like, every single second of the day, I was having to kind of walk on eggshells, and now I'm not at that point. Like, I can go about my life. I can be happy, and if I have a good day, I don't have to hide it from anybody. And I think it's so great that no matter what I'm going through, the Lord is always there. He's always there to cheer me on through the good times, or to pick up the things that I can't pick up through the hard times. He's always there to, like, tell me, like, it's gonna be okay, or like, this is your dream, but my dream is 10 times bigger. And so, like, I wrote out my dreams yesterday, and some of them were pretty scary. Okay, some of them, like, actually all of them are pretty scary. Some of them I know, like, I can accomplish. Some of them I'm not sure, but they still feel small to me. Like, there's still some of my dreams that I'm like, this doesn't feel big enough. And it's because when we're thinking something, God's plan is bigger than ours. And whether you're going through a hard time where you have to relearn how to live a life without somebody you spent years with, or you have to learn how to get rid of a coping mechanism that you felt was the only way that was going to bring you wholeness and joy, and it just wasn't. Like, for example, drugs or alcohol, if you're struggling with that and you have to figure out how to re-navigate a part of your life, God is there. And if you're doing so good and you are just loving life, God is still there. And you are never going to have real joy or never going to fully understand peace or the realness of love until God is the center of your life. And that is just the truth. And you have to keep him close to you through the difficult times, but even closer through the really good times. Because I think when our lives get really good, sometimes we can forget, like, we're here because of him, and we still have to keep going with that relationship, because you wouldn't be where you are right now without him. So no matter what you're going through, no matter where you're at in life, God is right beside you, and he is leading you and holding your hand, and it's all good. Just put your trust and your faith in him. Have a blind faith and continue walking the path that he has paved for you. Number 4, which is going to be the end of this episode, is what you search for, you'll find. So this one kind of hits a little deep. At the beginning of the year, I'm trying to shift my mindset from looking, oh my gosh, like, please give me sympathy, my life is hard and I've been through so much, to everybody's been through some stuff, like, we're looking for the good. Your feelings are valid, everything that you've been through is valid, but, like, shift your mindset, Kaylee. That's where I was at. And still, like, people to this day, people I interact with all the time, I can tell that there's a huge part missing, and it's them looking for the negative instead of the positive, or being frustrated or upset with things that they have no control over. And I'm not saying that I don't struggle with this still, because there's some days where I do, but we have to realize, like, if you're looking for the negative things, you are going to find the negative things. If you turn on the news and you're like, oh, well, what's wrong with humanity today? You're gonna find it. If you go on social media and you're gonna be like, oh, well, what body do I want to compare myself to today? You're gonna find it, and you're gonna feel bad about yourself, and you're not gonna have those boundaries set, and it's going to be absolutely, like, horrible for you. But the truth is, whatever you're looking for, you will find. And if you are going on social media and you're looking for inspiration to post and be a light for somebody, then you will find that. You are going to have those boundaries put in place that are going to be so beneficial for you. And I talked about this in my Social Media Is Not the Issue podcast episode, because it's not. It clearly is not. And whether you are on social media or just in your life looking for something negative, you are going to find it. And if you're looking for something positive, you're going to find it. I think so many people constantly talk about social media is the issue, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. Social media is not the issue. The issue is you have no boundaries put in place. You're constantly looking for the negative, and so you're constantly finding it, and it gets you to the place of, oh my gosh, like, I don't like my life. Switch your focus and your mind. Quit looking for the negative things and start looking for the positive. And that's the same way with something I'm going to talk about in number 5, so make sure you go listen to part 2. But the things that we look for, we are going to find. Okay? It might take you 5 minutes, might take you 5 hours, might take you 5 days, might take you 5 months, but you eventually will find it. And I really, truly hope that you all understand this, because, like, either God is going to show up in your life, or the devil is going to show up in your life. Whatever one you choose to give your energy to and put your focus on is the one that's going to be leading you. And I can promise you, you do not want the devil leading your life. Okay? Okay. I really hope you guys enjoyed part 1. Make sure to go listen to part 2. It'll probably be up in a few days. I'm really hoping to get both of these up by the end of the year, but I am so excited for the things to come, and I'm excited for you guys to get episode 2, so make sure to go listen. I love you all so much. Thank you for supporting me, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Also, sorry, real quick, make sure to follow me on social medias because I have been posting like crazy and connecting with so many people, and I absolutely just love it. So make sure to follow me over there and get some daily content. But that's it. Make sure to go listen to part 2 in a few days.